Valley News Live at 5:30.
Police are now calling it murder. The body of a male victim was found in the parking lot of the Flying J Travel Plaza in Grand Forks early this morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Krista Boehm. The victim is not being identified yet, pending notification of family. 31-year-old Crystal Feist has been charged with murder in connection to the man's death, but her connection to the victim is not known yet. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson was on the scene today and shows us what happened.
The Bureau of Criminal Investigations spent this morning at the crime scene. This car in the parking lot of the Flying J Travel Plaza just off Interstate 29 at 32nd Avenue South. At 5 a.m., police received a report that the victim was inside the car.
Can you tell was he shot, stabbed?
At this point, we're doing an investigation to determine that or to reveal that at this point.
This afternoon, after the BCI finished its on-scene investigation and gathered evidence, police did rule the death as a homicide. At this point, police aren't commenting on exactly who reported the suspicious death and whether or not anyone was with the victim earlier. Police are confirming the victim planned to meet a known third party at this truck stop in the early morning hours, and now police have a suspect in custody. No details yet as to a possible motive in this truck stop murder. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
We'll, of course, keep you updated with any new information as soon as it becomes available. Ambulance crews say they have been seeing a lot of young people overdosing on drugs recently, many of them dying. In the past few weeks, they believe a handful of 911 calls were opiate overdoses. In fact, they have saved multiple people's lives with Narcan.
It's a great drug in the sense that it makes them breathe again and causes them not to die, but it's also a very dangerous drug with the after effects that come in there. Oftentimes patients, like I say, they get very combative and violently ill, really.
Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson has a warning about Narcan and the truth about drug addiction in the area. That's coming up on Valley News Live at 6. A Jamestown police officer is being asked to resign following an internal investigation related to a Valley News Live whistleblower report. The Jamestown police chief is asking for the resignation of Sergeant Thomas Nagel. According to the internal investigation, Nagel allegedly violated 19 different policies. He's been an officer with the department since April 1989. Today's recommendation follows the termination of former Sergeant Elizabeth Kapp about a week ago. It all stems from a story we first brought you about the alleged misuse of government property in the Stutsman County Sheriff's Office. A Grand Forks man was hit by a train while trying to run across the railroad tracks in downtown Grand Forks this morning. 43-year-old Cody McDougal is currently in a Grand Forks hospital with very serious injuries. It happened shortly after 10 this morning at 4th Street and Kitson Avenue. Lieutenant Bill Mackey of Grand Forks Police says McDougal was dragged by the train for about 30 feet. It's a record-breaking Friday, and the warm weather isn't going away for a few days. Here's meteorologist Robert Hahn with a look at first weather. Robert?
Yeah, record-breaking highs in many locations, including Fargo, Grand Forks, Jamestown, the Sisseton area. In fact, in all of those locations, the temperatures close to or still above those record high levels. It's 62 degrees here in Fargo, 67 down in Sisseton, 63 in Oaks, 50 up in the Roseau area. Winds that were kind of gusty earlier today, they've subsided a bit. Calm now here in Fargo, 6 miles per hour in Grand Forks, 10 in Roseau. Just a few high clouds streaming through from time to time, and as we head through the overnight hours tonight and into the day tomorrow, a few more clouds are possible. Tomorrow, another very warm day. Underneath what few clouds we do have, no precipitation out there, and none is anticipated. As we head through the rest of the evening here in Fargo, temperatures will dip down to around 50 at the 7 o'clock hour and into the upper 40s at 8 and 9 o'clock tonight. Warm weather tomorrow, a little bit of rain on Sunday, and we've also got some snow to talk about in that 7-day forecast, and we'll detail all that here in just a little bit.
All right, thank you so much, Robert. You may be using that new chip card at the grocery store and Target, but what about at the gas pump? The new rules went into effect last fall for many retailers, leaving them paying the price if you're compromised. And they're not up to the new standards. But gas stations don't have to play by the same rules until October of 2017. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop found why they are prime targets and what gas stations are doing to prepare to switch over.
Criminals know the clock is ticking. That is why they use gas stations and other self-service kiosks to test counterfeit cards they make.
These fraudsters know that these terminals are vulnerable. So because all the other terminals are not. So they're going for that weakest link.
Gas stations have until October of 2017 to get the new chip card readers in. The new readers will hold your card in just like other businesses that have them now. Gas stations in the Twin Cities area have been the target by criminals using card skimmers.
Twin Cities is getting hit really hard, and I think it's because they know the chip stuff's coming and they're trying to get as much done as they can before it happens.
Brady Olson is a gas station owner in Minnesota. His station was just inspected by the state and is skimmer free. Olson says he's adding extra protection to his pumps to avoid becoming the target of a criminal.
We're going to be putting serialized stickers over, so if they get tampered with, they'll change color.
Olson says he is preparing to change all his pumps over this summer to have the new card readers in them.
The cost of the equipment is a huge mountain to climb, in a sense, you know, when you're only making probably after expenses a penny a gallon.
The new pumps will cost Olson's business about $100,000, and he wishes for the investment that he is making that the cards be pin and chip.
Because if we have to go through the expense, they should be the most protected that way for the most years.
Some gas stations have already switched over to the new chip card readers, but the software is not ready yet. Olson says many are still in transition. In Moorhead, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Yesterday, we told you about the online flaws with the new chip cards and what you can do to protect yourself. If you missed that story or want to learn more, just visit valleynewslive.com. We will know Tuesday who the next president of UND is going to be, and the president of Minot State is in the hunt. The Presidential Search Committee has narrowed the list to 3 candidates for the job. Dr. Steve Shirley is the only one with North Dakota ties to make the cut. Before winning the job at Minot State, Shirley was president of Valley City State. The others being considered are former Congressman Mark Kennedy, who heads up a graduate program at George Washington University, and Dr. Naganathan. Naganathan is the dean of the College of Engineering at the University of Toledo. All 3 will be interviewed by the Higher Ed Board on campus on Tuesday, and they're scheduled to make their decision following that. It's a classic case of finding a solution to a problem. But what makes this process different is it's also a chance to put the learning process to work, using students to help one of their classmates. Adam goes to school at Davies, and he gets around using a wheelchair. And of course, he wants to be able to do things like everyone else. So his classmates in the design engineering program set out to help him. They split up into teams, and each team was challenged to come up with a device that would allow Adam to hook a broom to his wheelchair.
One of his goals actually is that he would really love to just be like a janitor, and so we just really wanted to help him with one of those things and being able to obviously do something that everybody can do.
The winning design will actually be manufactured and given to Adam, a gift from his classmates that just may help him make his career dreams come true. It will be a sea of green Saturday throughout the FM community. Not only is the St. Patrick's Parade tomorrow, but the annual Celtic Festival starts at 10 a.m. 7 Celtic nations are being celebrated tomorrow. Dancers, music, and storytellers are all part of the entertainment. This is the 13th year of the festival and the 20th year of the parade.
Authentic food. We also have a lot of bagpipers and kids activities, and it'll just be a fun activity for everyone.
The event is free. A fun thing for kids is the Activity Passport, which costs $2. A big step forward for flood protection in downtown Fargo, and one that may make for some Monday travel challenges. 2nd Street will be closed through traffic between Main Avenue and 4th Street South Monday and much of Tuesday. Crews will be installing removable flood wall panels. The project's contractor wants to see how they're going to work. Among other things, they'll also be checking for fit. The panels are similar to those used for flood protection in parts of South Moorhead. The city's engineer's office tells us 2nd will be shut down around 9 Monday morning. They expect it to reopen by Tuesday evening. People who need to get to the high-rise will still be able to do so. And remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the whole day. Why those of you with diabetes need to be extra careful when you turn your clocks ahead this weekend. That's still coming up tonight.
Today, record-breaking highs with a few clouds around. Tomorrow, look for a very similar type of day. Some changes on Sunday and then some snow as we head through midweek. Your details on that forecast coming up right after this.